And welcome back to session 2 of day 4 of the UCI 2022 Masters Track Cycling World Championships. We're going to crown a large number of new world champions today. We're going to start off the competition with the 45 to 49 men's sprint. We're going to have several heats of the women's 500 through the different age brackets going from 35 all the way to 80 plus. We've got team sprints this evening, as well as 2 points races and a scratch race. Definitely won't want to miss that as we crown many new world champions on day 4 of 6 of the UCI 2022 Masters Track World Championships. About 3 minutes away from the start of racing, we are going to start things off with the first ride in the best of 3 series in the men's 45 to 49 sprint, semi-final round. Heat 1, Hamish Wright of New Zealand and Jeffrey Celine of France. Heat 2 will see Stephen McLaughlin of the United States and Charles Moore, also of the United States. These riders started off this morning with 200-meter time trials and have battled their way on up the brackets. Starting to get down to the best of the best, as riders have been dispatched in the 1/8 and quarterfinals. We've seen several world best times in the timed events, the pursuits and sprint events. Hopefully we'll see some more again this evening. I'd like to send a special thanks to all the folks watching on the YouTube stream. Thank you for following VELO Sports Center. Go ahead and click like and subscribe and all those good things, and be sure to follow VELO at VELO Sports Center on all of their socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you've got family members here at the event, family or friends, and they're posting social media, be sure to get them to tag at VELO Sports Center so we can see and share those as well. So in the first ride, Hamish Wright of New Zealand will be starting from the inside position. He's in all black, as is appropriate. And his opponent, Jeffrey Celine, will be in the blue of France on the outside. Wright obliged to lead the first part of the first lap unless overtaken. Jeffrey Celine in blue, the fastest qualifier in that 200 meters. He's been using his speed to dispatch opponents throughout the day. Wright, a very worthy opponent with good bike handling skills. He's used those to dispatch opponent after opponent. And Wright comes to the pole. Celine with the longer way to come around. Wright hits the 200-meter line, tries to hold off Celine down the back straight. More or less does it. He's got the shorter line. Could Wright get all the way to the line first? He does. Not a man to be underestimated. Let's give it up for both of those competitors. was an 11:8 final 200 meters for those two gentlemen. And now we go on to Heat 2. This is the first ride in the best of 3 series. The winners will go race for first and second place, the others to third and fourth. McClaughry of the United States in the distinctive checkerboard kit of Bike Central is starting from the inside position. Charles Moore from the Lexus Velodrome in the purple and black with the white helmet will be starting from the outside position. Moore might feel this track is a little relaxed since the Lexus Velodrome is steeper.
Not going to require a ton of warm up for one lap. You know how sprinters do their warm up and they're like, we do like a 5-minute warm up and then run out and then they're done. I'm like, what? I've been riding for an hour. I need to make sure.
And Moore coming to the front. Ever so slightly. McClaughry, the second fastest qualifier. And McClaughry seeing if he can get Moore to come to the front. And he does. Once again, Charles Moore in the white helmet. Stephen McClaughry in the black. And Moore makes the first move. Hits the 200-meter line first. McClaughry with ground to make up. Running out of runway. And Moore takes the first ride. So based on qualification times, 2 upsets to start things off in ride 1. I expect more exciting racing to come later as our top qualifiers try to even things up and send it to a third ride decider later in the program. Up next, the women's 35 to 39 500 meters final time trial. There'll be 2 heats. Going to start with one rider on the home straight, Gina Vaselli of the United States of America. Should have Rose Phillip and Emily Shelberg in the ready area. So Shelberg on the back straight, Phillip on the home straight. You should be on deck after we get Gina in the starting gate, or as we get Gina in the starting gate. Women 40 to 44, you will be next. So Brittany ONeill, you're going to be starting from the home straight. Jennifer Wagner and Christy Howells, you're going to be in Heat 2 of the 40 to 44 women following. These are 500-meter time trials. They do go quickly. It's just 2 laps of the velodrome. So we'd like to have you in the ready area, lined up 2 or 3 deep. So Brittany ONeill, Jennifer Wagner, Christy Howells, please come to the ready areas as we get ready to do Heat 1 of 2 in the women's 35 to 39. Vaselli will be setting the time to beat. Once again, top three get to stand on the steps of the podium.
Gina, let's go!
And heat 1 of 2 is off and underway.
Push! Push! Push!
2 laps to go.
Come on, Gina! Come on! Come on, Gina, push!
Come on now, all the way, bring it up, bring it up!
Push!
Opening lap time to beat a 22.781. And Gina Vaselli sets the time to beat a 39.419. 39.419. Coming up next, heat 2 of 2, starting from the home straight, Rosa Phillip of Canada.
Way to go, girl!
And on the back straight, Emily Shelberg of the United States of America. Shelberg with white helmet, Phillip with black, red, and white. Time to beat 39.419. Heat 2 of 2 off and underway. We should have heat 1 of the women 40 to 44 in the ready area. Both riders out faster than Vaselli in the opening half lap. Phillip with the fastest lap so far, 21.963. Shelberg right behind her as they come up to the final half lap. And Shelberg sets the best time, 38.511. Phillip takes second place by 0.05 of a second with a 38.567. Vaselli bronze with a 39.419. So congratulations to Emily Shelberg of the United States of America. Brittany ONeill of the United States of America will be going off on the home straight for heat 1 of 2 for the women's 40 to 44. And Brittany ONeill off and underway. Time to beat in the opening laps is going to be a 23.4 for this age group. O'Neill sets the time to beat with a 40.852. 40.852. Coming up next, heat 2 of 2 in the women's 40 to 44. We should have the women 45 to 49 in the ready area. Starting from the home straight, we're going to have Jennifer Wagner of the United States of America. And on the back straight, Christy Howells of Great Britain. Wagner in the striped skin suit. Being helped out by newly minted world record holder Andrew Weathers. Howell's on the back straight with red sleeves, silver helmet. Wagner with a black helmet. And heat 2 of 2 is off and underway. 2 laps to go. Wagner getting out very quickly. Fastest opening lap by more than 2 seconds with a 21 knot. Howell's third place so far. And a new best time, Jennifer Wagner of the United States with a 37.071. Christy Howells finishes third fastest with a 41.759. And Brittany ONeill takes the silver medal. Let's have a big round of applause for all of our women, 40 to 44. Our first heat of the women's 45 to 49 is a 2-up. Nicole Borum of the United States of America, starting from the home straight, and Monique Snyder of the United States will be starting from the back straight. Borum in the red and black of Brian's House of Pain. Schneider in the black kit of and heat 1 of 3 off and underway for the women 45 to 49. These two riders will be setting the times to beat for this age group, 45 to 49. Snyder's with a 23.0 opener. And Snyder sets the time to beat with a 38.792. Borum finishes second with a 45.502. Coming on track now, heat 2 of 3 on the home straight, Sean Morelli of the United States of America. And on the back straight, Hillary Luther, also of the United States. Morelli in the red, white, and blue.
Come on, Sean. Come on, Sean.
And Luther in blue and white. And heat 2 of 3 is off and underway.
Come on, Sean. Dig. Come on, Hillary. Dig.
Hillary Luther getting after it.
Come on, Sean.
Second fastest opening lap. Morelli with the third fastest. Both riders with half a lap to go. Second and third fastest so far.
Come on, Sean, dig.
And Luther finishes second fastest so far with a 40.754. Sean Morelli third fastest so far with a 42.610. Monique Snyder remains at the top of the leaderboard. Sean Morelli now on the bubble as we bring up heat number 3 of 3. Amy Cornerly of the United States and Raja McMahon of the United States. Cornerly in the red and black. McMahon in white and black. Starting from the back straight. Should have our women 50 to 54 in the ready area. And heat 3 of 3 is off and underway. Cornerly getting after it. Fastest opening lap by almost a second, 22 knot for Cornerly, fifth fastest for McMahon. Could be watching a championship ride here if she can hold on to it. And new best time, and the fastest time for the women 45 to 49. Kami Cornerly of the United States with a 38.550. Raja McMahon finishes fifth fastest so far with a 43.212. Let's give up a big round of applause for all of our women 45 to 49. On track now, heat 1 of 1, the women's 50 to 54 500-meter time trial. Starting from the home straight, Sherry Ann Prosalentis of Australia, and on the back straight, Elise Trailer of the United States. Prosalentis in the white, green, and yellow of Australia. Both riders off and underway. This is heat 1 of 1. Men 45 to 49 semifinal round sprinters. Your ride number 2 is coming up next. Trailer with the fastest half opening lap by just a tenth. Continuing to build it. Building it still, Elise Trailer riding her way into a world championship. And it's Trailer over Prosolentis. Trailer with a 39.510, Prosolentis with a 40.453. Jeffrey Celine to the start area. Your heat is on track now. Jeffrey Celine, please come to the start area. So we're now doing ride 2 of heat 1 in the semifinal round of the men's sprint for 45 to 49. Celine will be starting from the inside position, reverse of the last ride. Charles Moore, Stephen McClaughry, don't forget bike check. That's the problem with the World Championships. Everybody's just so darn fast. So Jeffrey Celine coming up to the line right now, number 397. He'll be starting from the inside position. And Hamish Wright will be starting from the outside position. So Celine not only had to be at the front, looks like he wants to be at the front this time. Last ride, Wright was at the front and was able to win it. So Celine looking to change things up a little bit. Right now owns that sprinter's lane. He's come out of it. And Wright ahead of Celine. Celine trying to chase. Celine with a slingshot out of the 200 meters comes over This time he gets around, closes the lane, and Celine will send it to a decider. We'll get to see those gentlemen race again one more time in ride number 3 later in the program. So let them know you appreciate their racing there. Jeffrey Celine and Hamish Wright. As we bring ride number 2 of heat number 2 up to the start area. Charles Moore will start from the inside position, and Stephen McClaughery from the outside. Moore with the white helmet, McClaughery with the black helmet. So in the last ride, Moore came to the front and was able to stay there and win. And McClaughery comes down the track. Comes back up the track. And so McClaughery is going to hit the 200-meter line first. Moore's going to have the longer the turn. And ooh. I thought I saw McClaughery get across first, and that's what the results are showing. So we will get to watch those two gentlemen race again. Let them know you appreciate that great racing. We will see them again in ride number 3. There you go, after the medal ceremony. We've got a number of heats now to go in the women's 500. We're going to start things off with the women 55 to 59. We've got 4 heats. Top 3 get to go on the steps. Top time gets to go home world champion. So we should have Simonson, Strike, Christensen, Murray, Yarnall, Johnson, and Capewell through bike check. Heat 1 will be a 1-up. Heather Simonson of Canada on the home straight. And so same as before, it'll be 2 laps, 500 meters on this velodrome. This is the first of 4 heats. So 7 riders, top 3, go to the award ceremony. Simonson will be setting the times to beat. And heat 1 of 4 is off and underway. The opening lap time to beat in this age group is now a 25.8. Heather Simonson sets the time to beat with a 43.231. 43.231. On track now, heat 2 of 4, starting from the home straight, Dana Strike of the United States of America, and on the back straight, Shelley Christensen of Canada.
Come on, Dana.
And heat 2 of 4 is off and underway.
Yeah, good job, Dana.
Dana Strike getting out after it. Second faster than our previous competitor with a 24.5 at opening lap. Strike finishes with a new best time, 42.904. Christensen of Canada finishes 3rd fastest of the riders so far with 49.026, puts herself on the bubble. Heather Simonson currently sitting in 2nd place on the leaderboard as we bring up heat 3 of 4. In heat 3 of 4, we have Charlene Yarnall starting from the home straight and Gia Johnson starting from the back straight. I'm sorry, I've got that. Heat 3 is Pat Murray on the home straight, Charlene Yarnall on the back straight. I was reading heat number 4. Sorry about that, folks. Both riders in black. Both riders off and underway in heat 3 of 4. Pat Murray and Charlene Yarnall. Murray getting after it. Very fast half opener. New best time, opening lap, 28.86. Yarnall right behind her with a 24.0. Continuing to set best times, these two riders. As Pat Murray finishes with a new best time, 40.458. Charlene Yarnall, second fastest of the riders so far with a 40.803. Murray guaranteed a medal of some flavor as we bring our last heat and last two riders on track. Starting from the home straight, rider number 30, Gia Johnson of the United States of America, and on the back straight, Debbie Capewell of Great Britain. So right now, Dana Strike on the bubble. And heat 4-4 off and underway. Johnson putting down new best times. Bell and one to go for Johnson. Best opening lap of a 21.6. Capewell second fastest with a 22.566. And we have a world record, Gia Johnson, 37.489, world record in the 500 meters for women 55 to 59. Debbie Capewell finishing second fastest from Great Britain. Pat Murray is the bronze medalist for women 55 to 59. So once again, let's have a big round of applause for all of our women 55 to 59. As we bring up our women 60 to 64, we will have 3 heats. The first heat will be a one-up from the home straight. Fotini Sandifer of the United States of America will be starting from the home straight. This is heat 1 of 3 for the women 60 to 64. Fotini will be setting the times to beat. Top 3 go to the medal ceremony. Fastest time is your new 2022 world champion. And heat 1 of 3 is off and underway. Send for his opening lap at 29.433. And Sendifer sets the time to beat a 50.237. 50.237. Coming up on track now, heat 2 of 3. Starting from the home straight, Monica Buchanan Starkey of the United States of America, and on the back straight, Julie Gradden of New Zealand. Gradden of New Zealand in all black. Buchanan Starkey in green and black. Heat 2 of 3 off and underway in the women's 60-64 500-meter time trial final. Gradden putting down the fastest opening lap so far with a 22.8. Buchanan Starkey behind her with a 25.56. And Gradden of New Zealand sets a new best time, 40.392, 40.392. Buchanan Starkey, second fastest so far with a 44.752, so Gradden just guaranteed a medal of some flavor as we bring up our last two racers in this age group, heat number 3. Anna Witten of Australia will be starting from the home straight, and Gwen Afton of the United States will be starting from the back straight. Witten in white, Afton in blue. Heat 3 of 3 off and underway. Should have our women 65-69 in the ready areas. Witten getting after it. Fastest opening lap so far, a 22.065. Afton, third fastest so far. And Anna Witten has the best time, 39.155. Believe that's a record as well. And Gwen Afton, third fastest with a 42.230. Second place, Julie Gradden. not over. All right, up next, heat 1 of 2, Jane Shearing-Skalak of the United States, starting from the home straight.
Way to go, Glenn!
Jane Shearing-Skalak will be setting the times to beat. Top 3 riders go to the award ceremony. Fell in 1 to go. Shearing-Skalak with a 28-4 opener. And Shearing-Skalak sets the time to beat a 51.067. Coming up next, heat 2 of 2, starting from the home straight, Elizabeth Heller of the United States, and on the back straight, Lanita Anthony of the United States. This is the women's 65 to 69. Heller in white, Anthony in black. And heat 2 of 2 is off and underway. Should have our women 70 to 74 in the ready areas. Heller getting after it. Second fastest opening lap, Lanita Anthony with a very fast opening lap of 24.474. And Lanita Anthony finishes in the best time, a 42.318. Elizabeth Heller right behind her in a 42.693. And Jane Shearing-Skalak, bronze medalist with a 51.067. Let's give it up for all of our women 65 to 69. Coming on track now, heat 1 of 2. Starting from the home straight, Louise Hose of the United States of America, and on the back straight, Ariel Levin of the United States of America. Hose in purple, Levin in black. And heat 1 of 2 is off and underway. Levin with the fastest opening lap, a 29.7. Hose second fastest so far with a 31.1. Final half lap for both women. And it will be Hose with the time to beat, a 51.198. Levin second fastest with a 52.316. As we bring up our next two competitors, Renate Walton of Canada on the home straight and Sarah Stearns of the United States on the back straight. Walton in the black with red maple leaf of Canada. Sarah Stearns in the blue and white of Performance Cycle Coaching. And both riders off and underway. This is our second and final heat for the women 70 to 74. Sarah Stearns, a helicopter pilot. Fastest opening lap so far by a wide margin. Walton in second place so far. Could be looking at the two top steps of the podium. And Stearns sets the best time. 43.797. Walton of Canada, second fastest so far, Louise Hose, third fastest will get the bronze. So once again, Sarah Stearns, world champion. On track now, heat 1 of 1 for the women 75 to 79. Helen Clark of the United States of America. Helen Clark off and underway. (27.639) opening lap. and finishes in a 49.111. Coming up next, heat 1 of 1 in the women's 80 plus. Pat Baker of the United States. And heat 1 of 1 off and underway. Opening lap 34.946, 34.946. And finishes in a 101.160. And that concludes our 500-meter time trials. We will be going to awards now for the 500-meter time trials. So once again, women 35 through 80 plus, if you were one of the top 3 finishers, please find your way to the awards area. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our award ceremony. Our next event is the men's 45 to 49 semifinal ride number 3. Both heats are going to a decider. In the best of 3 series, each rider won 1 ride. This will be a third and final ride to decide who will be racing for gold and silver, who will be racing for bronze and 4th place. And it looks like Hamish Wright has drawn the inside position. He's in black. Celine of France in blue will be starting from the outside. Hamish comes to the front. The rider who led from the inside position won in each of the previous meetups of these 2 riders. Celine has now come to the front. Celine was the fastest qualifier this morning in the 200-meter flying time trial. So we know he's got the speed. He's at the front, Hamish Wright behind. Now they're drag racing down the back straight. Hamish Wright pulling up even as they come to the final turn, side by side, and looked like Wright got across the line first. Okay, and we're going to bring up heat 2 of 2. This is the 3rd ride in the pairing between Stephen McClaughry and Charles Moore. And McClaughry is going to start from the inside position. Making sure we have all our judges and referees available to start the next race. Okay, so we're just going to let the riders roll the legs here a little bit as we get ready for that third and deciding ride in heat number 2 of the semifinal round of the men 45 to 49. After this ride, we will have the men in the minor final for 45 to 49. That'll be our 5th through 8th placed riders. Retief, Allington, Ryan, and Tomko should be through bike check and in the ready area. After that, we're going to get things started with the team sprints. We got 3 heats of team sprints for men's 35 to 44. Before we go to the medal ceremonies for those team sprints, we're going to finish up the evening with the final rounds of the men's sprinting, as well as a points race for men's 60 to 64, 55 to 59, and a scratch race for the 50 to 54. So some mass start racing coming up after the next medal ceremony later in the program this evening. This is day 4 of the 6-day event that is the UCI 2022 Masters Track Cycling World Championships. Okay, and so we'd like to call Stephen McClaughry and Charles Moore to the line. And so the results in the last heat stands. Hamish Wright will be racing for gold and silver against an opponent to be decided in this third and deciding ride in heat number 2. Perhaps ironically, it was the rider that started in the outside position in this heat that went on to win the ride, opposite of what we saw in heat 1. So Clottery in front in the black helmet, Moore behind in the white helmet. Speed starting to increase as they come into the bell lap, 1 to go. McClaughry hits the 200-meter line first. Drag racing around the final turn, Moore with the longer way to come around. Can't do it, and McClaughry will go meet up with Wright. And Moore will go to the heat for 3rd and 4th against Celine. Let's have a big round of applause for all of our competitors in the 45-49 sprints. As we now bring out our riders for the minor final, 5 through 8. So it looks like Tomko 401 is going to be starting from the outside position. Retief of South Africa will start from the inside position. Chris Allington of New Zealand, the number 2 position. Joshua Ryan of the US, the 3rd position. And as I said before, Daniel Tomko in the 4th position up by the balustrade. This is a single ride to determine 5th through 8th place for the men 45 to 49. Dynamics a little bit different in a 4-up compared to a 2-up sprint. See lots of heads swiveling all over the place. 3 competitors and 2 eyeballs. What do you do? And Allington comes to the front, puts daylight between himself and the other racers. Ryan looking to bridge on up. There's still 2 laps out. Bell and 1 to go. Allington still ahead of Ryan, ahead of Retief and Tomko. Ryan looks like he's closing the gap. He checks behind himself, makes sure there's nobody flying up. Allington looks like he's gonna make that move stick. He does. Ryan next, and then Retief and Tomko. So congratulations to Chris Allington and all of the other 5 through 8 minor finalists. As we now go on to Heat 1 of the team sprints for men 35 to 39. So once again, in a team sprint, 3 riders start, 1 finishes. Each rider leads the team for 1 lap and then pulls off. Team with the fastest time in this timed final becomes world champions. So in heat 1 of 3, the first team coming up on track now, Encino Dudes, Killian Jones, Vin Tran, and Brian Schwartz. Heat 1 of 3 in the men's 35 to 44 team sprint. And heat 1 of 3 is off and underway. Okay, Encino Dudes 21.6 opening lap. Sorry, 21.8. Bellin 1 to go for the Encino Dudes. The 500 meters, they were 38.545. And the Encino Dudes set the time to beat 55.331. On track now, heat 2 of 3, Calitex, Wilson Blas, Tack McKino, and Thomas Munderain. And heat 2 of 3 off and underway. New best time for the first lap, 20.4. More than a second ahead of the Encino dudes as they come into the final lap. And Calatex coming up to the line now. Their finishing time, a 51.745. Coming on track now, heat 3 of 3. We will be going to the award ceremony for the team sprint. After this, I believe this team's name is Spam Matzo Bai. Jerry Radio. So this is Ethan Boys, Joshua McDonald, and Alex Siegel. McDonald the starter, Siegel second rider, and Boys anchor. Time to beat a 51.745. Encino dudes relegated for an improper exchange. And heat 3 of 3 off and underway. Fastest opening lap with a 19.6. Fastest at the 500 meters with a 34.451. And a best time of 48.998. Spam Matzo Bai. Okay, and we've got the award ceremony coming up next. We will be giving awards for gold and silver to Spam Matsubai and Calatex. So that concludes our award ceremony. We're now going to resume the racing with ride number 1 of the final round of men's sprinting for men 45 to 49. We're going to start things off with the heat to determine 3rd and 4th place. The pairing Charles Moore of the United States of America and Jeffrey Celine of France. So Charles Moore in the purple has drawn the inside position. He has the white helmet. Jeffrey Celine of France in blue has the black helmet. He'll be starting from the outside position. Once again, this is a best 2 of 3 rides to determine bronze and 4th place. And so Celine comes to the front.
Let's go, Charles. Let's go, Charles.
Celine on the inside, Moore on the outside. That's Bell and 1 to go. Celine's going to hit the 200-meter line first. Moore with a run out of that turn at the north end of the velodrome, now drawn up alongside and comes over the top and takes the first ride. We'll see those two again later in the program after the men's 60 to 64 points race. Coming up on 60-64 points race, you should be through bike check and ready for your start. You're coming up next. And in the heat for first and second place, McClaughry in ride number 1 has drawn the inside position. And it will be Hamish Wright starting from the outside position. Both riders in black. McClaughry with checkerboard on the side of the torso of his skin suit. Also, Wright is not wearing gloves. So Wright comes to the front. And McClaughry slipped underneath. He's got the pole position now. Wright's going to have to come the long way around. McClaughry, the second fastest qualifier. Wright was able to dispatch the first fastest qualifier, but not this time, as McClaughry takes the first ride. So Wright outmaneuvered for the first time in this tournament so far. And we'll see those two gentlemen again in ride number 2 later in the program. Right now we're bringing out the men 60 to 64 for their points race. It will be a 10-kilometer, 40-lap race with 4 sprints. First 3 sprints will be awarded points to the first 4 riders across the line on designated laps, 5, 3, 2, and 1. In the final sprint, the points are doubled, 10, 6, 4, and 2. Riders that lap the field gain 20 points. Riders lapped by the field lose 20 points. Riders are placed according to their point totals at the end of the designated distance. And so our competitors today, Joseph Atmore, Cecil Bernard, Joseph Deck, Miguel Draguet of Chile, Dave Fairburn of Australia, David Feta, Jesus Gravito of the U.S., William Gordon of Australia, Reggie Jones of the U.S., Greg Langer of the U.S., Carlos Daniel Lobruto of Argentina, Kevin Metcalf of the U.S., David Morgan of the U.S., Larry Nolan of the U.S., Joseph Paulson of the U.S., David Prechtel of the U.S., Eric Salander of the U.S. Racing today. And we're looking for one more holder, if we can have a volunteer. How about a big round of applause for our last minute volunteer here? And they're rolling out for their neutral lap if they're handsomely bunched when they come back around, or whenever they're handsomely bunched. Our starter will fire the pistol, signifying got a number of riders down. Okay, riders, do be aware that the apron is full on the north end of the velodrome. Keep going, but stay up track, up track. So up, up, up. So we're getting any scrapes in the track taped over. Make sure everything's safe. Okay, and rolling out for their neutral lap with plenty of speed. They can ride the apron and come up on the back straight. Men's 60-64 points race off and underway. And on their neutral lap, that is. They need to be handsomely bunched.
Great job, team.
And they're racing 40 laps, 10 kilometers. And immediately from the gun, get an attack. I believe that might be Prechtel. It is David Prechtel off the front. That has split the field. We got 4 riders trying to chase. And the rest of the field trying to get back on terms with 38 laps to go. Prechtel now has friends. 5 riders off the front with a bridging group of 4 about to join and what's left of the field behind. "36 laps to go, 9 kilometers remaining, and Prechtel still at the front. Five laps away from the first sprint, field carrying. And here comes the second attack, stringing them out. Prechtel still at the front, 2:08, they're up with him. That's Dave Fairburn of Australia. 28 miles an hour of cat and mouse. 3 laps, 750 meters to go for points, as 2:29 brings them across the line. That's Joseph Paulson of the US. 32 laps to go, 8 kilometers, but more importantly, 2 laps and 500 meters to go for points. As Metcalf was at the front there momentarily. They're going to come around. It's going to be Bell and 1 to go. Bell and 1 to go. So Gordon and Nolan picking up points in that sprint. Get to the others here momentarily. "29 laps to go. So it was 2:11, William Gordon of Australia with 5 points. 2:27, Larry Nolan of the US, 3 points. 2:29, Joseph Paulson of the US with 2 points, and 2:08, Dave Fairburn of Australia with 1. 7 kilometers remaining in the race, 28 laps to go. .224 Metcalf on the attack. Took 2:08 Fairburn with him. Group of three off the front. Dave Fairburn, William Gordon, Kevin Metcalf. And the field is not happy about that. They are chasing down. Getting pulled back together by 2:07. That's Miguel Draguet of Chile. "24 laps to go, 6 kilometers remaining in the race, but more importantly, 1K to go to the second set of points." "23 laps to go, Metcalf at the front again. And Draguet up there with him, so those two off the front. Two laps, 500 meters to go. Two riders trying to bridge now. 2:05 and 2:29. It looks like they've been reabsorbed. Draguet and Metcalf off the front with 2 laps to go. Here comes the field. And it's going to be Draguet and Metcalf picking up 5 and 3. 2:29 picks up 2, and the Australian, the 1. So a quarter lap lead for Draguet and Metcalf. So in that second sprint, Draguet picked up 5, Metcalf 3, Paulson 2, Fairburn 1. So we have a two-way tie for first place between Miguel Draguet of Chile and William Gordon of Australia with 5 points apiece. Third place is 2:29, Joseph Paulson with 4. Then we have a tie for fourth place between Kevin Metcalf and Larry Nolan with 3 points apiece. Dave Fairburn of Australia, rider 2:08, is the only other rider with points. He has 2. Everyone else. Following this points race will be ride number 2 for men 45 to 49. Don't forget to go through bike check. 16 laps, 4 kilometers to go, while Draguet and Metcalf have a half lap lead on the field. If they get all the way around, that will be 20 points. Break the tie between Draguet and Gordon. And catapult Kevin Metcalf from fourth place to second. About a quarter of a lap to seal the deal. They've got a kilometer to go until the next set of points. But right now, I think they want the lap. 3 laps, 750 meters to go. Metcalf flying up on the field now. "12 laps, 3 kilometers to go. Metcalf in the field now. He gets 20 points. Draguet still has not joined. Field now getting ready for their spell. And Drugay will pick up the big 5. Here comes Drugay still off the front, has not caught the field yet. Metcalf now off the front of the field as Drugay has joined the field. Drugay gets 20 points. And Metcalf goes again. He's got about a quarter lap on the field. In that third sprint, it was Drugay picking up 5, Gordon 3, Metcalf 2, and Prechtel 1. So with 3 of 4 sprints completed, your leader with 30 points is rider 207, Miguel Drugay of Chile. Second place rider 224, Kevin Metcalf with 25 points. Third place 211, William Gordon with 8 points. Fourth place, Joseph Paulson, 229 with 4. 5 laps to go. Metcalf off the front with David Feta. 10 points to the winner of the final sprint. Drugay now coming to the front, realizing the danger of having Metcalf out there. 4 laps, 1 kilometer to go for the field. But Metcalf and Feta are going to pick up 16 of the points. Drugay would only get 4. And Metcalf would win by a point. If the 2 laps to go. But Metcalf has to win the sprint. Okay, it's going to be bell for our leaders. And now bell for the field. And 227, Nolan trying to move his way up. And oh, Feta takes it away from Metcalf. Nolan's going to pick up the next set of points, and then 229, Drugay is denied. So Feta picks up 10, Metcalf 6, Labruto 4, and Nolan 2. And your winner by 1 point, Kevin Metcalf of the United States of America. Miguel Drugay takes home the silver, and David Feta takes 3rd place and gets the bronze. Okay, gentlemen, I believe we're going to have you come off the back straight, the ramp at the south turn of the velodrome. Go ahead and slow yourselves down, come down off the back straight at the ramp. Men 55-59 points racers, you should be through bike check and getting ready for staging. Once again, men 55 through 59 points racers, you'll be up after these 2 heats of sprints. Going to start things off with the heat to determine third and fourth place. Geoffroy Celine will start from the inside position on this second ride. Charles Moore will start from the outside position. Once again, Moore with the white helmet, Celine with the black helmet. So Celine in front, Moore behind. Celine came to the front in the last heat, so maybe he really likes racing from there. And Celine comes down to the red line. Moore with the longer way to come around, but he's able to do it last time, and he does it again. Moore takes bronze in 2. Give a big round of applause to both of these gentlemen. Geoffroy Celine, 4th place. As we now bring up the heat to determine the second ride of the heat that will determine 1st and 2nd place. In this second heat, Wright will start from the inside position. Riders 265 and 291 in our next event, you are needed in bike check. Gregory Lance Coburn and Chris Trigillis, needed in bike check. Your event is up next. And so this is ride number 2 in the best of 3 series. In the final round of sprints to determine 1st and 2nd place. McClaughry won the first ride. If he wins this one, he is world champion. If Wright wins this one, he sends things to a decider, a 3rd and deciding ride. He wins there again, and he will go home world champion for men 45 to 49. Bell and 1 to go. Wright hits the 200-meter line first, but McClahry's coming alongside on the outside. He has the longer way to come around. Wright will be able to make up a little bit of ground, but McClahry is happy about taking it in two and becoming world champion in the men's 45 to 49 sprint. All right, long live Alpenrose. There will be no ride 3 for men's 45 to 49, so right after our points race will be our scratch race later this evening. So men 50 to 54, do realize that you will be racing as soon as this next race, the points race, finishes. And this will be a 15-kilometer, 60-lap points race for the men 55 to 59. There will be 6 sprints, 1 every 10 laps. First 5 will be scored 5, 3, 2, and 1. The last one will be scored 10, 6, 4, and 2. As before, riders that take a lap gain 20 points. Riders that lose a lap to the field lose 20 points. And riders are scored according to their point totals at the end of the designated distance. So the riders in this race: Adelman, Alvis, Arishi, Bonser, Brown, Bruno Pozzo, Carlson, Casper, Coburn, Cole, Davis, Estrada, Heaney, Lyman, Mayer, O'Brien, Trigillis, 12s, Van Vliet, Walsh, Waterman, and Williams. And we're looking for 2 volunteers to serve as holders. Got 1. And 2. Nope. We still need 1, looks like. There we go. And rolling out for their neutral lap with plenty of speed, it is our men 55 to 59. If they're handsomely bunched when they come around, starter will fire the pistol. And they're off. Six wide through the turn, no attacks at the very beginning here. .58 laps to go, 2 kilometers to go until the first sprint. And the first attack of the day. And no concerted chase coming from the field. 57 laps to go as rider 267 gets off the front. Robert Davis of the United States. With almost a half lap, just like that. Now another rider looking to bridge. Others getting animated. 266 looking to bridge. That's Vern Cole. 55 laps to go. Davis, Cole. Cole has a friend now. 271. That's Patrick Heaney. And now the rest of the field sort of coming up there. 4 laps, 1 kilometer to go until the first of 6 sprints. Davis about to get caught by that lead group. And he's been caught. 53 laps to go. Two laps to go. Lead group at 30 miles an hour. Chasing group going even faster. And it's all together for the sprint, lined out as it is. 293 at the front. And 293 gets across the line first. A warning has been issued to rider 258, David Bronzer, for entering the sprinter's lane and forcing an opponent off the track. A warning has been issued to rider 258 for entering the sprinter's lane and forcing a rider off the track. In the first sprint, Mike Twelves picked up 5 points. Uli Mayer picked up 3. Karash Arishi picked up 2, and Eric Brown picked up 1. Everyone else currently tied for 5th. We've got at least 3 groups on the track with 46 laps to go. Five sprints to go, 45 laps to go. 5 laps until the next sprint. And 252's off the front at 32.5 miles an hour. Norm Alvis has about a quarter lap on the field, maybe a little bit more. Norm Alvis off the front. With 2 laps to go until the next sprint. He's almost got a half lap on the field. So 1 rider off the front, field swiveling its head. Waiting to see what's going to happen next. There's the bell for our leader, Norm Alvis, off the front. Here comes the sprint for the field. Chris Carlson leading things out. Alvis picks up the big 5. Carlson picks up the 3 at 36.5 miles an hour, and he just keeps going. Looking at traffic. Alvis still off the front with 39 to go. Carlson now being chased by 4 others. .38 laps to go, 2K until the next sprint. So in that last sprint, it was Alvis with 5, Carlson with 3, Mayer with 2, Heaney with 1. So we have a 3-way tie for first place between Alvis, Mayer, and 12s. Carlson knocking at the door with 3 points. Brown and Heaney tied with 1. 9 kilometers remaining in the race, 36 laps to go. And Carlson has joined Alvis at the front. And unless I'm mistaken, we have a lead group of 4. Alvis, Carlson, Casper, and 12s, a very potent group. All the points up the road away from the field, and about a half lap up on the field with 34 laps to go. And so our lead group of 4 coming up through traffic off the back end. Carlson bringing them through, 32 laps to go, 8 kilometers remaining. And there goes our lead group of 4 coming off those 4 off, coming around that group of 4 off the back. And our lead group of 4 gets the bell. Carlson at the front. Carlson leaving nothing to chance, takes the big 5 at 34 miles an hour. Now that group is going to start joining the field and getting 20 points. So Carlson gets 5, Casper gets 3, 12s gets 2, Alvis gets 1. And we're going to start adding lap points here momentarily with 28 laps to go, 7 kilometers remaining in the race. Norm Alvis still trying to join. He's the last one of those that hasn't joined quite yet, of the 4. So I believe we now have 4 riders up a lap. "26 laps to go. And so the point totals Carlson leading with 28, 12s with 27, Alvis with 26, and Casper with 23. So still very close between our top 4 riders. With 24 laps to go, 6 kilometers remaining in the race, and 1K to go until the 4th sprint. So once again, we got a group off the front. Carlson in there again. As is Casper. So our top 4 marking each other off the front of the field. Bell and 1 to go for points. Carlson first across the line. Okay, there's been a relegation to Daniel Casper for dangerous riding leading to a crash. 263 Daniel Casper, a relegation in that last sprint for dangerous riding leading to a crash. Carlson picked up 5, Estrada 3, Alvis 2, and Mayer 1, though Estrada was down. $17 laps to go. Carlson off the front. Carlson leading the points race with 33 points. Norman Alvis with 28. Mike 12s with 27. And Casper with 23. 16 laps to go in the race, 4 kilometers remaining, metric mile between these riders, and the penultimate sprint at 10 to go. Men 50-54 scratch, please proceed to bike check if you've not done so already. So here are your leaders coming through the start finish with 14 laps to go, 1 kilometer remaining until the penultimate sprint. $13 laps to go. Carlson doing a lot of work at the front as we come into 3 kilometers remaining in the race, 12 laps to go, 500 meters to go for points. Bell and 1 to go. .261 looking to lead it out. Bruno Pozo of Spain picks up points at 34 miles an hour. 9 laps to go. Okay, here comes our leaders. 8 laps, 2 kilometers to go. So it was Bruno Pozzo picking up 5, Chris Carlson picking up 3, David Bonser picking up 2, Daniel Casper picking up 1, and now Chris Carlson leading the points race with 36, Norman Alvis with 28, Daniel Casper with 24, and 7 laps. And a warning has been issued to rider 258, David Bonser, for entering the sprinter's lane while it was occupied. 6 laps to go. And our lead group now coming up on the other group. 4 laps to go. 1 kilometer remaining in the race. Double points in the final sprint. So there's 6 riders that came up. 3 laps to go. And we got 3 off the front with 2 to go. And it's coming down to a final hot sprint. Rider down on the back straight. Final sprint was a 35-mile-an-hour sprint. And it was Mike 12's picking up 10 points in that final sprint. Chris Carlson 6 points. David Bonser 4 and Norman Alvis 2, and it's Chris Carlson who wins the points race. Second place, Norman Alvis, and third place, Daniel Casper. How about a big round of applause for all of our men, 55 to 59. We've got one more mass start event. Men's 50 to 54 scratch race coming up next. So our next event will be the scratch race, but we're going to have a slight hold here while we make sure that we take care of the track, make sure there's no splinters, gouges, or other unsafe aspects to it. So once again, slight technical hold here while we take care of the track, and then we'll bring up the last race of the evening. It's going to be a scratch race for men 50 to 54. That will be a 7.5 kilometer, 30 lap race. No intermediate sprints, just first rider across the line at the end of the designated distance is the winner. Okay, and so we're bringing out our riders now for our 50 to 54 scratch race. This is the final race of the evening. Andrew Beal, Roger Carter, Louis Che, Terrence Chaffee, Paul Cundy, Heath Dotson, Brian Haas, John Hickson, Robert Higgins, Richard Keller, James Kelly, Ted Michaels, Michael Miller, Michael Morrison, Bernat Noguera Mora, Richard Oakes, Alessandro Pico, David Richter, Tommy Robles, and Alexander Zambrana. And they're rolling out for their neutral lap. Carry good speed or ride the apron, come up on the back straight, get handsomely bunched, and we'll begin the racing. One more time, gentlemen. Get it together. And they're racing. Things start stringing out right away. .348 brings them across at 31 miles an hour. Richard Oakes of Great Britain, already with a medal in these championships. 28 laps, 7 kilometers to go. This one's going to be a scorcher. So these riders got here by qualifying earlier this morning. They're at 33 miles an hour. And there's still 27 laps to go. Slowed down all the way to 31. And a rider's starting to get off the front. It looks like a Canadian racer. Get you the number here momentarily. Nope, pulls up. 25 laps to go. They're still at 31 miles an hour. All lined out. 3 ever so slightly off the front, 24 laps. We still got 6K to go as they come through at 31.5 miles an hour. Rumble of the lumber and the fact that they're all strung out, letting you know things are really moving there in the field. .30 miles an hour. Starting to let a rider get away. 22 laps. Rider 345 off the front. Michael Miller. Two more have joined him. .37 and 18, so that's Richard Keller. So Andrew Beal, Richard Keller, and Michael Miller off the front, and the field is not happy about that. 20 laps to go, 5K remaining. 352 brings it together. That's David Richter. Richter at the front again. .18 laps to go. They're at 30 miles an hour. Got a rider off the front, 318. Andrew Beal off the front. Got about a quarter lap on the field. 4K to go, 16 laps remaining. Beal being chased by 344, that's Ted Michaels. $15 laps to go, and the field is flying. 348 trying to get up there. Richard Oakes. Oakes descending on Beal. 14 laps to go. And then there were 4. The field really trying to bring it all back together here. And they do, 13 laps to go. Coming into the final 3K, 12 laps to go. This one's been a scorcher, ladies and gentlemen. Oakes at the front again, snaps the field. Pulls 3 with him, 1 trying to bridge. 11 laps to go. Beal and Oakes at the front, 10 to go. They're now 4 or 5 wide across the track. Eight laps, 2K to go, calm before the storm. And speed starting to increase. As 346 takes them across at 33 miles an hour. Michael Morrison got things going there. Six laps, metric mile to go. Five laps to go, Oakes at the front. Four laps to go, final kilometer. Oakes at the front, 29 miles an hour. Oakes still at the front, 3 to go. Richard Oakes towing the field around. Two laps to go. Oakes still at the front. Now the speed's really starting to increase as we come into the bell lap. New riders coming to the front. It's going to be 3:52, first across the line. David Richter of the United States at 38 miles an hour becomes world champion for the men 50 to 54. So that was a scorcher of a race, ladies and gentlemen. Let all of these racers know how much you appreciate the hard effort they just put in. 30 laps, 7.5 kilometers, in excess of 30 miles an hour. We'll get you the full podium here momentarily as we get ready for our award ceremony. That concludes the racing today in session 2 of day 4 of the UCI 2022 Masters Track World Championships. We'll be back again tomorrow for day 5 with more sprinting, points races, team pursuits, and so be sure to come back for that tomorrow, Wednesday, the 28th of September, at the UCI 2022 Masters Track Cycling World Championships, coming to you from Los Angeles and the VELO Sports Center in the heart of Carson, California.